Good morning. It's truly morning. It is effing cold in Los Angeles. I'm Andrea, and you have reached Knit LA. And I'm so happy you're here. And I love to talk about knitting. And I love to talk about knitting with people that speak my language. So appreciate you being here. I'm gonna sort of divide this into two parts. I'm filming in my living room where I am gonna show off another party bow. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, a very exciting thing happened. And it's a short story. I'm gonna really try and be brief. But essentially, this is a brand new pattern that was just released on January 20th on Ravelry. I know the exact date because actually it was my birthday. And this is the first pattern I've ever written. It was a recipe that I have been using for a few years, making these kind of very exaggerated bows, accessories. So especially around the winter time, going to parties and all these things, I just wanted something that was super fashionable and something that would also keep me warm. So friends started seeing the bows and wanting the bows, so I started knitting them for friends, and some people wanted to commission bows, so I did that for a period of time. And then Little Miss Knits on Instagram, Macy, who works with the Lamb&Kid, reached out and asked if I would share the recipe. So it was sort of the first time I had to sit down and actually write it out based on just scribbly notes. And that was super challenging, actually. But I did it and I sent it off to her, and she executed this incredible bow in a day using Lamb&Kid's Big Birdie and Baby Birdie, or just Birdie, combination of those two. And it knit up beautifully. And then the Lamb&Kid, of course, was like, hey, we would love to have a sample in the shop. So I sent them the pattern, and essentially these were my two testers, which was great because I got some really great feedback. The pattern is on Ravelry. It's called The Party Bow, and it's the first one that pops up when you type that in, so that's exciting. And this is one that the Lamb&Kid sent me a package with the Big Birdie and Birdie, yarns I've never worked with before. And so I whipped one up, and actually it's a lot faster with a pattern. I used my own pattern and made this in like, I don't know, a total of 4.5 hours or something over a two days. Anyway, I'll get closer. It's really soft. It's so nice next to the skin. I'm gonna try and like back up a little and just say that it works beautifully with a jacket. I'm really cold, so I just thought that I would, my dog is crying. Junie, come here. Come and lie down. Anyway, so it's great with a jacket, open with a jacket, but I'll also show it to you without a jacket, because basically wherever you have arrived, you know, you can still stay warm. It looks great with this shirt, with a sweater. I wore it yesterday with like basically the same exact color sweater. I was all like monochromatic, and I loved it that way. It's gorgeous, and I wish I could, I think I'll do something for Instagram because the format is a little better for portrait mode. Anyway, yeah, so I am so excited to have published a pattern. It is not something that I sort of ever aspired to do, but now that I have done it, I have certainly made many things on the fly, just trying things out. And so this really gives me validation to actually take serious what I'm writing down and trying out and all that stuff. So anyway, I hope you all will check it out. And I also really hope that if you in fact make a party bow, that you will tag me on Instagram and use the hashtag the party bow, because I would love to see everybody's gorgeous bows. And I feel like there's just gonna be like a rainbow. So these colors are, the big Birdie is peanut, and Birdie is in antique. And it's just, it's so good. It looks so good with like, obviously brown and black, navy. Yeah, I mean, hello. That's it. You're done. Put one of these on, you're done. All right, more in a bit. Good morning, good morning. Again, part 2. My name is Andrea, I'm back. I had to film a little preview of the party bow. So I appreciate everybody hanging in there with the, I'm wearing 2 different things. I just actually had to go put on my sweater because it's freezing in this house. I'm in LA and it was pouring earlier and it's just so cold and windy. This is my Lento sweater. Maybe I should stand up. This is my Lento, and it is one of my most worn favorite sweaters. And this was made with yarn that unfortunately no longer exists, coupled with Ito mohair, silk mohair, which is pretty dreamy, and I love the fuzz. Kind of see the fuzz. And the yarn actually has like a tiny subtle sparkle. So even though it's sort of this very plain raglan, it's got a little something. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy that party bow moment. But I'm here to talk about more than just the party bow. And I'm gonna show you, I have this beautiful finished shawl that I am just super excited about. So it's pretty massive, just like I like it. And I guess this is kind of how I wore it yesterday. And I just want to come up close because it's just so beautiful. Little triangles, little seed stitch, interesting cast on, and then this, it's a little hard to see, but this is sort of like a little lace curvy border at the end. I love it. And it definitely took some unexpected turns. So when I think when I've shared about this first, I actually was contemplating how wonderful it would be in a solid color. And I definitely think it would be amazing in a solid color. I started with Mountain Meadow wool, and this is their DK Natural, is the spongiest, marshmallowy. This is amazing yarn, and I would love to make an entire garment out of this yarn. I also used, well, it's almost gone. I used a skein of the Farmer's Daughter fibers. This was like a sock club the Sock Club color, and it's just really sweet. It has like a bunch of, it's sort of a creamy white base, and it has these greenish flecks and some brown, etc. That was like the second part. And then I actually don't have any more of, do I? Oh my gosh. I guess I finished the Ritual Dyes, but the kind of paler DK color here is Ritual Dyes, Priestess, DK, Ace of Swords from, I think, a tarot. Anyway, I love it so much. Oh, and then this was the curveball. Initially, I was going to use, see this like pretty radical stripe here? I was going to use this Olan for the border. But as you'll see in a moment, I'm also using this color, I think, in my Artus or Artus, I've heard it pronounced two different ways, shawl. And maybe I'm a little tired of this, or I just don't want everything to have this little shot. So I started with it, but then I just was like, And I grabbed this skein, also from the Farmer's Daughter Fibers, and it is funky, okay? It is a funky, when I got this, I think it's called Lini. This came in an Indigenous collection package, and honestly, I did not think I would ever use this. But then it just like called out to me. It's kind of, okay, it's kind of a punk color, punk rock color. It's kind of filthy, but it has these like shots of Kelly green, and totally related to this guy. So basically, and it's a DK weight, which this shawl is all DK weight, and I was gonna have to hold, you know, this guy double. So that was it. That was the winner. It's a little hard to read right now, but I am super in love with it. And it's just interesting because, like, really, when I got this, I was like, what? So, you know, the right time, the right project came along. I am hosting the Pierre Affair Cal, which runs through May, super chill. Any of the Pierre patterns designed by Stephen West are very welcome. And, you know, I've been hearing from people who are making it. It goes by really fast. It's super engaging, but you could still watch a movie. I don't know, and it's squishy, and I don't have a lot of experience with DK weight yarn. I don't have much in my stash at all, but it does make for a really, you know, squishy, warm. Not to mention that this, while I was knitting it, was just so much heavier, and very oddly, when I blocked it, it suddenly became like light as a feather. So that was very interesting to me. Anyway, I'm in love with it. I totally think everyone should make this shawl. I totally think you could make it. Oh my God, I think a single color would literally like blow my mind. Because there's such, they're such great texture stitches. I personally love like this twisted rib that then gets like gathered up. Anyway, it's a wonderful shawl, and you know, I'm not a person that knits things twice, generally speaking. I don't think I've ever knit anything twice aside from the party bow. Anyway, so yeah, that's my beautiful finished object, and the Cal's running on Instagram with the hashtag Pierre Affair Cal, and it's a fun place to just go check out, post some inspiring yarns, whatever. I love it. Let's see, it's like shawl, I'm in shawl land. Okay, which is very cool in a way because that's like my origin story. I started knitting seriously all of Anne Hanson's lace shawl designs in sort of tandem with my mom and my aunt. So lace shawls and shawlettes were sort of my jam for many years. And now I find that I'm really returning to the shawls. I made 3 shawls last year. I don't know. I made a few shawls. And they're just the perfect thing. In this climate, especially when often it is not cold enough to really be able to wear wool, a wool knit, inside or even outside. Sometimes, you know, it's cold enough outside. So shawls are a great way to just like kind of complete oneself before heading out into the big wide world. So I, along with many, many others, are knitting along with the Artus or Artus, I'm not sure the correct pronunciation, shawl, written by Natasha Hornsby of Moonstruck Knits. And there are just so many gorgeous iterations all over Instagram. It's just fantastic. Ravelry has some incredible examples too. Oh, I also wanted to point out that shawls are a wonderful way to work through stash, which was a big intention that I set for the beginning, for this year, is just that I just have many, many skeins. A lot of them are just single skeins. From clubs, from this, from that, seeing something beautiful. So it's an opportunity to really go for it. So these are all stash yarns that I had. And I am on the last, I'm about to start the last chart. Wait, maybe I should hold it like this. So this is my Artus shawl. To say that I love this shawl is kind of an understatement. Whoops. So the waffle pattern, also I'm using a fingering weight. I'm using mostly fingering weight except for this fluffy guy, which might even be DK. I'm not actually sure. But so the gray, the charcoaly gray, is Bare Naked Wool's breakfast fingering. It is so scrumptious. The bright color is this Olan that I shared earlier. You can see it's showing up a lot. The, let's see, the brownish one is actually a beautiful yarn. I'm gonna sit down now. A beautiful yarn from, oh shoot, I can't remember the name, which is ridiculous, but this is it. Oh, Hugh Loco. They had a cafe collection, and this is from that batch. It's sort of a rich chocolatey with some burgundy. It's a really luscious color. You can see that very well in these first triangles and in some of these, the color work there. And then I really struggled over this 5th color. I feel like I use the same colors over and over again. I don't know if any of you feel that way, but I feel like the rusts, the crazy greens, the burgundies, all of those colors are getting a lot of play, ton of play in my wardrobe, in my knitting life. So, and I just couldn't figure out what did I want to use. And I went through so many skeins, like, was it gonna be a pink? Was it gonna be a peach? You know, and I found this lone floofy skein. This is Mochi. And it's something that I used in a like crochet project, and it's very soft, and it has kind of like all these funny little bursts of color, but it's a very neutral kind of pale apricot. And I just saw it and I was like, that you're the one. I love you. And you can kind of see some little areas where there's like some hot pink, but it's just very fun. I see some blue. Anyway, it was just a nice change up, you know. I really liked it. But I love this shawl so much, and I'm really excited that I'm on the last chart. I'm really a little terrified of the, I believe it's a 7-stitch I-cord bind off. And I don't know why, but I'm really nervous about that. Other than that, it's coming along, and I know millions, like lots of people are knitting this, and for good reason. It is absolutely so beautiful and so fun. You know, you're changing colors a lot. It's mosaic knitting, so you're like, whoop, whoop. Your charts are moving, so you're just like excited to get to the next bit. I really love it, and I'm really enjoying it. I keep it. Okay, and then look at my bag. These are all like basically the same colors. I know we've talked about this. I've talked about it. Like the same, I just keep returning to the same colors. Ish, you know, palettes, let's call them. This is a Madder Root bag that I got in Rhinebeck, and it's absolutely amazing. It holds so much yarn, and I think it's a great design. So that is what is holding my Artus shawl, which actually kind of goes with the colors. So I'm loving working on that. I'm curious if any of you are working on the shawl as well. I'd love to know. Or if you even have any like favorite shawl patterns. Yeah, let me know. Or designers that possibly I don't know about. What else? Look, I wrote stuff down. Oh yeah, I started another project. After I finished the Pierre shawl, blocked it, I was ready to cast something else on. Speaking of like using the same color over and over again, I had talked about this in the last podcast. I love the Trinigan sweater coat that Andrea Mowry designed, I'm not sure how long ago, a year or two. And I just always wanted to make it. And so now is the time. And I think I showed you the contrast color that I was going to use, am using. It is the Farmer's Daughter Fibers. This was part of the Indigenous collection as well. It was a very special one-off, I believe, and once I got it, I wanted immediately a sweater quantity because I felt like this is, you know, first of all, it's completely my colors. It's a little hard to see, but it is it's definitely there's a variegation going on, and I just love all these kind of muddy, murky greens. This is a worsted weight, 50% US alpaca and 50% organic merino, 240 yards per 100 grams, and this colorway is called Old Man Coyote. Old Man Coyote. So it is super gorgeous. So I had this, and then I just kind of wanted to find a really nice structured yarn. So I actually chose something that I've never used before, but I've heard really great things about, and that is this West Yorkshire Spinners fleece. Why? This is 100% Jacobs, reared, sheared, and spun in Britain. It's cute, little tagline. This says it's a DK, but it really is kind of a worsted gauge. I mean, it's working up pretty great along with this, and I'm pretty sure that it will floof up and soften. It's pretty crunchy. I don't think I've ever used wool quite this crunchy before, but I think it's actually quite perfect for a structured sweater coat. This is in the medium gray. So these are the two colors together. I don't know where to hold it so that it's not so blown out. These are the two colors. A lot of people, including the designer Andrea Mowry, chose to use a spin cycle or a color changing yarn throughout the coat, which looks very beautiful, but I kind of wanted something, not a showy piece, but like just one I would feel good in a lot all the time, and I was able to wear a lot. So, and I think I'm doing the size 2 or 3, I can't remember, because I want it to be generous. I want it to feel like a coat. And this is also mosaic knitting. It is a very simple, like 8, I think the entire pattern for the sweater is 8 rows, and you're just repeating that throughout a lot of fabric. So, but it's a quick moving kind of thing, and it doesn't require a ton of attention being paid. So it's got a nice, generous, I cannot even see what I'm doing. It has a really beautiful, generous border, hem in 2x2 ribbing, and I did an Italian, it calls for an Italian, a long tail Italian cast on. And then, you know, you're just sort of slipping various stitches at various points, and then really knitting and purling. So it's quite generous. This is sort of what I have so far. But it's very enjoyable. And I can tell, like, this is like got a lot of heft, a lot of shape. So I think these were both very good choices. And also because this is going to be an outer garment, it doesn't need to be close to my skin actually, because even if it doesn't soften that much, it'll be great for like what my purposes are. So that is the Trinigan. It's fun to have cast on something new, although I must say, once again, it's like the same colors-ish, sort of. Yes, it's okay. It's fine. I love them, so whatever. And then I wanted to share something that I have resurrected. Very inspired by Knitting a Good Yarn podcast. If you all watch them here on the YouTube, you will know that Jackie and Carmen are hosting a year-long Junko Okamoto year of her designs. And this is very exciting to me because I started a sweater of hers 3 years ago. I think it's 3 years ago. It was during COVID. Anyway, and I want to show it to everyone because it's such a gorgeous pattern, and I don't really know why I stopped knitting on it. Probably just because my brain has a really hard time staying focused, although I must say I'm in a rhythm right now. I'm in a rhythm of like 1, 2, 3 things are on the needles, finish one, make one sort of your focal, my focal point, finish it, cast on something else, and then move to the next thing that's almost done. So like now I'm going to be focusing on my Artus shawl. This kind of like system is really working for me right now. Anyhow, I got to show the bag that it's in because it's freaking stunning. This was a Ritual Dyes kit that was on sale on their website. And it came with a couple of skeins of yarn that I've already used for something else. And look at this cool pin. It's the one with the hand and the like drop, the eye. Wait. It's such a beautiful pin. I love it. Anyway, they have a really nice aesthetic. So this poor bag has not been in use because it's been in the back of my closet. There's a zipper on the top. It's really heavy canvas. So 3 years ago, I started gotta find the back, the Bouquet sweater. I'm not sure which is the front or which is the back. I think this is the front. I started this sweater and I only got this far. It's beautiful. It's definitely the first time I've ever done this kind of design where you're not actually really catching that many floats. You're sort of, I think it's called rusamine, where there's both color work that you're picking up and color work that is moving across the front of the fabric. It's really beautiful and it's not hard. Yeah, it's just a really beautiful pattern. So inspired by Jackie and Carmen, if you guys are watching, you have resurrected this very, very old sweater. And I'm excited. So my main colors are, this is Cascade 220, which is a very nice wool, I have to say. This is my first time using it. I can't recall the name of the color, but it's probably in here somewhere. I don't know. I don't see it. I've already kind of wound up all my stuff. But it's like a really deep, dark, kind of foresty, mossy green. And it looks kind of heathered. It's not a solid color. And then what's really exciting is I have this one-off skein. This is from, I want to say, wait, I have the tag. Oh my God. Okay. This was from my aunt's stash. This is a Posh yarn, incredible dyer. This is called Antonia DKO, Solitude. 50% extra fine merino and 50% mulberry silk. I have no idea if the colors are gonna really be able to show here, but it's one of the prettiest skeins of hand-dyed yarn I have ever seen in my life. So it's got a lot of the light is so bizarre. It's really bright out. Ugh, my face. Okay. Anyway, it's very silky, very soft. It has like peach, palest gray, almost silvery lavender, and it looks really pretty with the green. Also, I think it's a nice way to memorialize my aunt in such a special project. And I really hope that there's enough. I think there is. I'm pretty sure there is. So anyway, that is my bouquet sweater, and I'm in the cowl. I'm really happy it's a year-long cowl. But anyway, you guys should check out their podcast if you haven't, because they're really amazing humans. And you know, for those of us who love to talk about wool, yarn, and anything and everything that could have a relationship to that, they deep dive. It's really nice. Yeah, so those are all the things that I am bringing my focus to right now. I have been making a list of some sweaters that I'd like to make. And they're not new sweaters. I've kind of been going through my favorites on Ravelry and going like, oh yeah. So that's been really nice. And yeah, I just feel like this is gonna be a really great year of knitting. It's kind of heightened even in this context where it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun to share it. And hear your responses. I'm really grateful for everyone that leaves a comment. It's so sweet, and I love hearing from all of you. And yeah, I hope that you'll check out the pattern at least on Ravelry. And I know that the Lamb&Kid are curating some beautiful kits of Big Birdie and Birdie in all the colorways. So you should check it out. That makes for a beautiful, beautiful project. A lot of people have been talking about gifting. Great idea for a gift. And doesn't take a ton of time. Yeah. Anyway, that's that is my story for today. I hope everyone is well and making lots of things. Please feel free to comment below in kindness. I'd love to hear what you're working on. I'd love to know if you are thinking about joining the Pierre, a fair Cal. I think I'm gonna knit the socks because the pattern for this shawl knit up so quickly. And yeah, just keep me posted, okay? I'm just gonna wrap up in this, and I'll see you all sooner than later. Okay. Mwah.